Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero of Psych, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Kholodny Ferma Winter. Yeah, it's that map again. Versus in the east, Væringjar fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism, Comrade Stalin, and the 417th Rifle Division. Tasked with holding the line, he has the fascists under the command of VNBros, a top 100 Oberkommandos player, charges towards for Deutschland. Moving ahead here with the Hermann Göring Fallschirm Panzerdivision, tasked with breaching through and shattering the rations, opening up for a future series of assaults. We got here terror tactics. Wow, got rifle and Lend-Lease tactics here. Certainly a less than usual selection of doctrines from Væringjar with anti-tank grenade infantry versus VNBros fortifications, elite armored, and Feuersturm. With Puma, King Tiger, and Obersoldaten bulletins. We got a cool run Sturmpanzer start here. Clearly, VNBros is not too worried about his opponent pulling out scout cars and penal troopers, and I usually do not go for Kubelwagen in these situations, and the Kubelwagen is easily countered by the M3A1. On the other hand, of course, otherwise the Kubelwagen is quite a useful tool for just seizing a lot of territory here. Engineers hard at work laying down the barbed wire, even if it does hurt their hands a bit. Petrov, yes, these gloves. Yes, they're made from toilet paper. Are you sure? I don't actually get toilet paper. I hope it's toilet paper. Shots being fired here between the forces and the conscripts. Sturmpanzers about here as well. Wiring off a bit here and there. Basically setting up for future engagement between the two sides. Going to move up through here and sort of basically shoot through here behind the heavy cover. There's only one window firing out from the church. We just go straight up close to the door and more or less kick it in if they could. Sturmpanzers, they're pursuing the conscripts, quickly fall back. There you go, hot in pursuit. The conscripts were able to get shots in. In this case, I think pursuit, he could actually probably just beaten them in with a barbed wire, since the conscripts can't fire when moving up. He just pursued, he would be able to get with a safe distance. In this case, still falls back. And the south conscripts laying down sandbags here. Good work there by Væringjar. More conscripts moving out here. Folks are falling back as well here as VNBros perhaps decides this is not going to be worth it. It's going to be too expensive in manpower, in resources, in precious German lives, and so decides not to continue with the assault, or at least hope to bait Væringjar into perhaps exposing his forces a bit more for making the push. But there you go, Væringjar forces in hand up north, pulling away the Sturmpanzers. Only a single Volksgun is scored in their greatcoats to hold the line there. Sturmpanzer Russian engineers are guiding them down up close up north. Kuban conceives territory here for VNBros and the Deutsche Armee. In the south, conscripts flying up behind the Volksgun. Good move here of Væringjar, coordinating all of his conscripts in one broad sweep that overwhelms VNBros' beleaguered Volksgun in the centre, forcing them to fall back swiftly in the name of the fatherland. Sturmpanzers are arriving here. More forces there arriving for VNBros. Almost ready here. Forces flanking up the other conscript squad here. And this can't easily support. This could turn around a bit better here for VNBros. So of course getting the Sturmpanzers into flank would be nice. But in this case though, Væringjar has already foreseen this set of events and cover the flank there with the conscript squad. Very good work there by Væringjar. Very good work. A part of good tactical approach is not just setting up your best own moves to try and protect what your opponent might try and do, and then set up matters to sort of ensure they can't do that easily. It's a good play there by Væringjar. Forces there arriving and replacing the other squad. More forces here for VNBros. Standard builds there so far from both though. You could argue versus Oberkommando West 4 conscripts is a much less common build. Most players in this situation go for heavy penal trooper builds, but clearly Væringjar is a man who's not afraid to go for other choices. I'm sure his men also appreciate, him not going for sturdy elite troops versus all of this. Troops back here reinforcing healing. Got a maximum away here for Væringjar, so 4 conscripts into a maximum versus VNBros. I mean, the maximum certainly can contain the Volksgun. This is the move ahead here for the German army. Kuban there being fixed up north. Kubelwagens were used quite a bit as transport vehicles. For example, reconnaissance units for Panzer divisions would use Kubelwagens to move the scout troops about, for example. And otherwise, they were also used as ambulances, actually. Comes the move against the Volksgun. It's managed to finish the cover. In this case, the count's going to be close enough anyways for it to not matter. Maxim setting up here. Probably for a brief while at least to cover the flank there, but he should be using it more actively versus I think the German army. VNBros going to attack, continuing the doctrines, or the bulletins here. Very likely to go for mechanized regiment. And of course the question what becomes his endgame then, because the rest of his doctrines clearly indicate he's not just going to rely on the Cillian Spec Ops into Command Panther play, which of course is a lot more interesting. Troops are reinforcing, setting up for the next big push in the south. Engineers securing territories. Well, folks here could consider laying down some sandbags for themselves, since this is otherwise a pretty bad spot to be caught in by a lot of angry Russians. Kuban continues to be standing by here in the north. Might be just waiting up. We got some shooting down here as well for VNBros. Forces engineers, the forces that are going to be fighting, I think, pretty desperately. There you go. Ludwig drops dead, face first into the snow. Up north here, Kuban actually pushes back several depleted conscripts, punishing in this case Væringjar for getting a bit bolted there and not getting medics first. And we go, sneaky, he's mining the cover they provided with using the tripwire flares. Excellent work there by Væringjar, excellent work. Might attempted but thwarted by the German army. The Hammergurning Fallschirm Panzer Division is not to be, trifled with. Troops are healing, reinforcing. Bit of quiet otherwise. Contemplating about here, very low on health though. Væringjar needs to be careful. Noting neither player's yet to go for doctrine in the opening moments of the game. So there seems to be no indication there of the plan. There we go. Mechanized went up there for VNBros. Schwerer Wehrmachtschlepper there finding himself being covered in sandbags and other fun stuff. Setting up for a big southern push here. Large assault there with mines was running through there just in case. Væringjar has been mining up north. Kuban now is finding itself heavily outgunned as Væringjar launches a heroic assault that will go down in the history books. Written by him, that is. If he survives the purges, that is. No assault rifles yet here for VNBros. You might slightly think you'd do that. At least get some Sturmgewehrs up. Folks going to be creeping up. Mines down there. Very good. We got the maximum about. Nothing further here from Væringjar as of yet. Flare goes off. He hits the carve point. Sitting on the other points. The aggressive push the VNBros, but quickly finds himself under the ruthless attention. The maximum up north here. Concentrating forwards there. Folks, the Kuban trying to bend off against this Russian advance here from Væringjar. Taking loss of the Kuban doing decent damage to this machine gun to the country out in the open. 8 kills up. Well, that's pretty good there for VNBros. 10 kills. In the south, mines going down there as well. Both players so far displaying, I think, quite the aptitude for mining, which is great to see. Great to see. Another player there missing, I think, a beat to just, make the other bastard's life miserable. Max, MG34 Plus looks on the way there for VNBros. Another Max on the way there for Væringjar. No anti-tank weapons. Is he actually not expecting a fast T-70 out here from Væringjar? VNBros. That'd be interesting there. And a bit dangerous, to be honest, for Væringjar. But there you go. Væringjar strikes for the carve point with Flamethrower engineers. Ruthless and calculating Væringjar strikes. Maximum number 2 out there, still no anti-tank weapons. Another try on the way there for VNBros. He counters the looks and pretty much figures he can actually get away with rushing for the next tier. Now that's an interesting development there by VNBros. You usually do not actually see that. I mean, this clearly means VNBros is not the sort of player just, plays just, like, some sort of, punch cart machine. Like, he's not just working off a program. He's actually, looking at the situation and actually making active decisions based off. In this situation, he basically goes, hang on, I've actually got enough fuel to maybe push out some bigger panzers faster. Maybe I should do that and surprise the Russians. Not that the Russians like surprises. Not from the West anyways. Points there being secured. Folks are making the way back. So a bold switch in plans, I think, from VNBros, but I like it. I really like it. It's nice to see someone actually just realise, I've actually got a chance here. Let's try it out. So incendiary grenade against the Maxim. In the south, we got the Fulton, the country shots being fired back and forth. Still no doctrine. 2 Fulton grenades with 1 tripwire flare mine. That is some extreme value. I mean, that's 10 munitions for 2 kills. You don't get a much better deal than that. You do not. Welcome to Cravey Ivan's Crazy Tripwire Flare Emporium. If it does not kill 2 fascists with 1 flare, you got bad luck. Points there being secured, point there being secured. Spare punches quarters almost down there for VNBros, already close to the 10-minute mark. Impressive work there by VNBros, impressive work. And we got terror tactics from Væringjar. Good golly, Miss Molly. Væringjar clearly does not care what everybody else goes for. He's not the guy to just, jump off a cliff because, everybody else does. Though, of course, if Comrade Stalin told him to do it, he'd obviously do it. I mean, Væringjar is loyal to the socialist cause. So terror tactics here versus Feuersturm. A slightly belated choice, I think, there for VNBros to go for it. Slightly belated choice. Could have gone for it sooner. I think had some MP40s out, which I think would be pretty great here versus all these conscripts, to be honest. Like a lot of MP40 Volksgrenadiers could really punish these conscripts who don't have any weapons. Of course, Væringjar could hit back here with shock troopers, which would definitely give the MP40 Volksgrenadiers a bit of a rough time. Væringjar following up with the mortar, still known to tank weapons, of course. With the Schwerpunter calls up, he knows he doesn't have to worry about any immediate armor. Theoretically, if VNBros was to try and rush out Flamethrower, that could look slightly different. It could. Not that I recommend him, but it could, further change the arithmetic of this battle so far. So we got the shock troopers out here for Væringjar. They're basically assault engineers with body armor, for all intents and purposes. Moving up here, Lone Helfer is going to try and flush out the Maxim. The Sturm Pioneers need to fall back soon, otherwise they're going to get annihilated. In the south, the Lone Maxim fighting back. There we can see there, VNBros definitely flanks behind it. Good work there. And Væringjar swiftly retreating in the face of such nasty fascist action. VNBros could go for some Obersoldat, and Væringjar here is probably going to have to, sometimes going to go for some armor. He's taking up instead, though. Not a bad choice either. The Tank Command being mobilized here for the 417th Rifle Division. Conscripts sneaking northwards, low in health, low in numbers. And the south, the shock trooper strike, the PPH-41s tearing holes into the Germans. The PPH-41, by the way, was actually a copy of a Finnish submachine gun. I think more or less. A little fun fact there. Another fun fact is that while early models would use a drum magazine, a bit like the early Thompsons, they moved away from it due to the fact that A, it was pretty heavy, and B, the spring mechanism inside the magazine could not actually handle being fully loaded, so it caused them to actually just stuff less rounds in the magazine. So eventually they went with a stick magazine for the PPSH-41. Fun fact. VNBros continue to go for the Panzer IV, the Panzerkampfwagen 4. Strike hard, fear into the hearts of the enemies, not the other way around. Kuban dealing with the conscripts. Conscripts are dealing with the Kuban as well. He's actually very close to Veggie 2. He's almost got... Oh, we got Veggie 2 there. 14 kills. Oh! Oh, that's got to feel bad there for Væringjar. He actually lost a Kubelwagen. But there you go. Shock troopers running into 4 Volksgrenadier squads. I mean, even the bulletproof armor, they can't deal with that many. And technically, it could only deal with 9mm parabellum bullets. That is, pistols and submachine guns. A bolt action rifle would easily have been able to penetrate it. It was not meant, for open quarters fighting. It's meant, for urban warfare. And VNBros does pull for a Flamethrower. He's clearly feeling ahead. He's feeling confident versus Væringjar, who himself is taking ahead here for the mechanized armor company. I'll probably go for T-34, which is going to leave VNBros Flamethrower feeling a bit silly. Just a bit. On the other hand, if you do enough damage with the Flamethrower, I suppose it's going to work out, but he's going to have to follow up with some anti-tank afterwards. Still, oh, we got MP40s there for the Volksgrenadiers, the Schmeisser. So lots of MP40s. I mean, this is quickly turning into not your average fight here between two high-ranked players. Flamethrower, a player who actually realizes he can take a hit instead of just going for Lux Puma, which is a lot of players do. Terror tactics, shock troopers, Flamethrower. There we go, Flamethrower out here for VNBros. It was actually sort of a modification made to the regular heads, and it's only done in small numbers. I think there's roughly 13 Flamethrower made or something like that. Made for fighting on the Western Front. fun fact. Kuban there being assaulted by the shock troops. Would be a shame to lose the Kuban now. 15 kills. I think he's going to try and bait the shock troopers into the mine here, though it's a bit risky if he doesn't move in time. Ah! Mine off, and the bait works. The bait works. It was highly risky there, but he actually managed to bait the shock troopers not trying not. But there you go. Flamethrower rolls hit. Hits a mine. Not a good start there for VNBros. Not a good start. Now they're into tank grenade there, further making things miserable for the Flamethrower crew. T-54 on the way. They're banging out to punish such a incendiary move there from VNBros and the German army. Folks, they could try and pop an smoke grenade here, but in this case just end up falling back. One squad getting suppressed. T-54-76 on the way there for Væringjar. Almost done, almost done. In the south, Væringjar strikes. They're looking for a weak spot. He seems to have found it. They'll try and flank up behind it. Could do some serious damage. Machine gun folks are fighting around the centre. One squad that way I think needs to be healed. It's very low in health and do not think we'll be able to do much here against the opponent. Maybe pop a grenade in a bit of a fun ambush, but ultimately there needs to be a retreat there from them. They are going to be feeding Væringjar as a lot of man. Oh, it actually works. Out we could see another wipe here against Væringjar. A big loss there for the Russian, but there you go. Flamethrowers just incinerate 3 Folks Grenadiers. T-54 there running for Væringjar, bringing out the bigger tank. Got another try out for the VNBros. Going to be the Battle Group headquarters, which does delay his actual anti-tank he's going to need against the T-34, because the Flamheads is definitely not going to do it. I mean, there was a regular headset, sure, no problem, but they didn't add the regular headset to Company's T, sadly. They added the Flam headset. He's going for the Puma here to basically cut against the T-34, I guess. I mean, that's definite, shall we say, option. Decided he might have gone a bit too cocky there with the Flam headset. Oh, we're currently getting scorched, incinerated, burned. 2 kills so far. Concerning the machine gun there to the Flam headset. Shockers there could be easy prey here for the Flam headset. Moving here and there, adding the Pinlock machine gun. There we go, caught by the Schwer Panzer Quarter. The shock troops are taking heavy damage. Their body armor course absolutely useless as the Flamethrower. Fun fact about the regular heads, but they actually saw service on the Eastern Front before the Western Front. In fact, on the Western Front it saw service like late 1944, but actually on the Eastern Front so sort of mid to early 1944, sort of roughly around, you know, summer, spring. So a little fun fact there about the regular headset. There you go, Battle Group headquarters up for VNBros. Troops healing reinforcing. T-34 they're being fixed up. Point being secured up north. Now that machine gun would usually be crewed from the inside, since that's how it's designed. There was a known as a Rundumsfire or all-around fire machine gun. And was one of later sort of additions to the German armoured arsenal to try and make it easier for the crew to defend the tank. The other measure was the Nachfertigungswaffe, which was basically sort of a small grenade launcher operated by a flare pistol from inside the vehicle that could fire either small explosive grenades or smoke, even flares really. Was quite flexible, I'm sure you can imagine. So Flamheads they're rolling ahead with 60mm of sloped armour. They're direct hit from the T-54 on the field gun, not the best move there. Puma moving up. T-54 gun, but getting hit. Oh, it gets the Flam. Oh, it gets abandoned. Oh, main gun out on the T-34. Flam heads down to the field gun. The Sis-3 knocks it out. I mean, they sort of roughly cost the same, so I mean... Oh, there we go. Actually, they cost the exact same. Grenade off there, I killed him with a wipe. Just going to need to recruit the killed him with a Schnell, and we got another T-54 in the way here for Væringjar. VNBros are going to have to bring up something else. Victory points wise, still got a fat lead here over Væringjar. Field gun there, cleared out. Approach on Steve. We've got shocksmen for the south taking fire from MP40s, but they're barely taking any damage. VNBros need to fall back, Puma needs to fall back, Filgun someone needs to get out of there. And VNBros could still consider some Upsilon, but then again I think with 4 Fulks going into Scorch with MP40 he probably doesn't want to go for it. And the south there, Sturm Punch moving back up, Puma doing its best here, we got Conquer with an anti-tank grenade. Gotta be close here. But he does actually, it seems, make away with this. Is 3 impressive work there, VNBros, but like Kedmev on the other hand is almost taken away here by Væringjar in return. Should probably just pop smoke here with the Puma, I think. Cover the retreat of the field gun, back here reinforcement going on, maybe a bit of healing. Maxim's being counted forward here by Væringjar and the Red Army. And there goes second T-54 from 6 out here for Væringjar. Field gun then being recruited, and then we go good to go. T-54 moving here and straight into the Sis-3. Direct hit, they're penetrating the T-54's armor easily. Puma, they're going to go down most likely here unless only pop smoke there, which gives them a bit more time. Still looking a bit risky. There you go. Puma kaput. Bit of a loss there for VNBros. They can soon go for some more regular armor here versus Væringjar. That's what Væringjar goes for next. Hard to say. I mean, he could try and go for the KV-8. I mean, that'd be a bold move, but it could work out possibly. Howitzers could also be something to give VNBros quite a headache here, and of course there's also, you know, at some point, you know, the I2 precision bombing strike. As far as that being suppressed and heavy damage, we're trying to flank in from the north. That's actually a pretty good move. We got more shock troopers out. We got double shock troopers from Væringjar. Good God, double shock troopers. We do not see that. He probably should have popped the smoke grenade here. Actually, I missed that in action there. Unfortunate. Then again, I'm not playing, so I guess it's less unfortunately than this for VNBros. Fulks playing up behind the counter, the MP40 tearing into them. And the field gun there, functioning as bombarding the church. High closer shells, they're just flying through the entrance of the church and obliterating bits and pieces. Succeeding reinforcing. VNBros is probably going to, I think, go for a Panther 4 next. As for Væringjar, could go for another T-34. Could try and go for the KD-8. Would be, I think, pretty ambitious, but done correctly, could, I think, do a lot of damage there to VNBros. And would be funny if they both went for some sort of doctrinal flamethrower vehicle. VNBros here committing to second Flamethrower? I can't ever feel here VNBros might get a bit too obsessed with the idea of them more than anything. I mean, it sort of undercuts us, you know, otherwise smooth, I think, move for the higher tiers, but just, you know, suddenly gets a bit too obsessed with Flamheads. I mean, we'll see what happens. But it's definitely not something I advise, particularly when your opponent has a tank out. It seems like VNBros really wants to use that Flamhead, so he really wants to use it. Really close one there, getting there for getting way too close. We've got Sturm Punies manning into the actually need some extra firepower. There goes Shock Troopers pushed back. There's another one back at base being reinforced, or at least about to be reinforced. Also flanking up behind, very good work. We got a T-54 on the way, and that church could get destroyed in a matter of moments. VNBros swiftly orders his men out. T-54 there snaps it, gets snapped by the Kholodny. And we got the second Flamheads out here for VNBros. Kholodny wiped out again. He needs to be a bit careful there with it. Max and wiped, but that's a bigger deal there, I think, for VNBros. So the Kholodny has lost Flamheads moving ahead. Engineers wiped, that's a bit of loss there for Væringjar, in particular because it means he's gotten away of repairing his T-34. Though considering VNBros has gotten out a lot of ways of damaging it, I mean, I'd say that sort of aligns or equalizes itself. Carting off the Maxim. Fun fact, the Germans set their own version of the Maxim, known as the MG815. 0815, which I believe was also a way of saying something was not very efficient. It was primarily used though by rear-line units, Luftwaffe, security elements and such. But it did see usage. Fun fact, and certainly highlight the German industry's inability to actually fully provide the German army fully with equipment. So again, very low rank units, or high quality vehicles used to be then equipped, of course, with older stuff like that. Field gun wipe, that's the second field gun he's actually handed over to VNBros. That's a bit of a problem there for Væringjar, as it makes it much easier for VNBros to actually use his Flamethrower like he wants to, though. You still be careful not to get too many Flamethrower and getting out other armoured stuff as well. Otherwise, the VNBros continue good map control. He's actually got a fat victory point lead over Væringjar. Troops rolling ahead here. Flamethrower are burning the shock troopers, incinerating them, cooking them within their armour. And there you go, full score wiped out with the T-34. Good work there by Væringjar, and the T-34 goes down to the field guns. Second shock troopers coming here into the Flamethrower. More fire, more death, more pain. The shock troopers, though, withstand the inferno being unleashed for this Czechoslovakian dragon, but it won't last much longer. The Kenwa from the up Flamethrower needs to get away, but likely goes down. Goes down. Second Flamethrower kaput in the south point there being secured. Troops falling back rapidly in the face of the Volksgrenadiers. Over here, troops in reinforcing there for VNBros. Double field guns, they're good to go. He's actually got more sewed equipment in terms of support weapons than Væringjar. Quickly silencing the Flamethrower, good work there by VNBros, ensuring he gets a bit more resources for whatever goes for next. Field gun good to go. This is 3. Salvaging the other Flamethrower. Bit of extra fuel. Back here healing reinforcement in the south again, units laying down mines, trying to screen off against an immediate push there from VNBros. The VNBros does not seem nearly as bullish as it could be, which does give Væringjar, I think, more time to stabilise. Strain to the maximum, strain to heavy suppressive fire, and strain to hell. Forces crawl back, slinking away there like dogs scolded by their owner, and we got the KV-8 now for Væringjar. So this is going to be a fight with flamethrower vehicles from both sides, and we're talking flamethrower armoured vehicles, so this is going to be quite interesting. You do not see that very often. Cheering up from the Oberkommando West versus the Soviets, but here we are. Here we are. I mean, that's something that requires something a bit bigger there from VNBros to deal with, and also looks like he's not just going to go for another Flamethrower. Thankfully, it might in fact be he's planning for a Panther, which is not a bad idea. Panther right now would be, I think, a strong choice. We'll certainly lock down a lot of the Væringjar's armoured options. But there you go, flanking the next one, the Sturm Pioneers, quickly gunning down Dmitry, Sergei following, Yuri, Petrov, Pushkin, and there you go, quick concussive grenade, try and catch the Sturm. Shock troop grenade works, it works! So he's quick to lay down the smoke screen, but the problem is he's still under fire, so he might not be able to escape with the shock troopers. Oh, never mind, they get unsuppressed. Pretty lucky there for Væringjar. Pretty lucky. Another grenade off, didn't quite hit the mark-up point here. Point being secured and fire up north. We got the MD-34 defending the northern victory point fervently for the fatherland. Shock troopers then in pursuit. Overall, Væringjar scanning out his forces quite aggressively across the map, meaning he doesn't actually get any sort of pressure anywhere. Whereas VNBros for the most part is a bit defensive, does send small units here and there, but he's trying to concentrate around the centre north. And there you go, T-34, or KV-8X, I mean, strikes here. Panther on the way for VNBros for the German army. MD-34, the crew being incinerated by the KV-8. Though by 1944-45 they were largely then replaced by T-34s with flamethrowers in the hull instead of the hull machine guns. There you go, almost got it. We got the field gun with the KV-8 trying to burn here the Schwerpanzer quarters, and we got an airstrike in there. He cancels the Panther. I think he might be planning for King Tiger. Possibly also realising he might lose the Schwerpanzer quarters the way things are going, so setting up for a longer play there versus Væringjar. A bold and aggressive move there by VNBros does mean, of course, Væringjar gets more time to bring out more stuff onto the field. So, a bit risky there to try and play for the King Tiger, but I can understand the logic behind it. I mean, clearly VNBros is feeling himself in such a position he can get away with it. I mean, his opponent's down to 91 versus his 466, so I mean, there's a massive lead there, but there you go. Væringjar seizes any opportunity to help heavy damage. He gets the maximum. Machine guns takes it back for the motherland. Also worth noting is active emerging conscripts with the shock troopers. You do not see that very often. Up north, KV escapes here. Both of VNBros Pilfered field guns. And there you go, T-34 out. Orbital on the way here for VNBros. He's actually suffered some heavy Feuersturm losses all of a sudden. So going for Orbital to replace some of these is not a bad idea. As he stalls for the Königstiger. And there you go, falls into the shock troopers. He just needs to retreat there. But I definitely like that he is using conscript to merge with the shock troopers. Definitely, I think, an underlooked ability there. Overlooked ability, so very good work there by Væringjar. I mean, Væringjar is clearly just playing the Soviets much more confidently than most other players, and also just in many ways certainly off the charts. T-34, they're falling back, though, having done its damage here close to VNBros' own base. He's very close to the King Tiger, he's very, very, very close. Back at helium reinforcement, KV8 down need repairs though. So when are we gonna get the repairs? I don't like being tanked, that could explode any moment. More than usual. Væringjar following up with the Katyusha. Oh, goes for another T-34, that's probably the best idea. He might be starting to sense that VNBros is actually playing for a King Tiger. I mean, he's pretty much seen all of the 3 trucks, he's seen not a lot from them, so assuming your opponent's going for a King Tiger in this case is the right decision. In fact, he counts the T-34, possibly for an H-35. So we got the Tiger 2 out here for VNBros. Königstiger, Gefechtsbereit. I believe only about 500 of them were made. Admittedly, they of course weren't equipped to every division. Instead, the Germans would organise the heavy tanks into heavy tank battalions. With I think about 8 or 10 of them for the regular army, and I believe the Waffen-SS had about 4 or 6. Can't quite remember the exact number, but they had a new set then. Of course, they didn't be attached wherever needed. Though the thing is, they've also usually handed out to sort of certain specialist units, specifically Funkline battalions for radio controller battalions, so units that are sort of meant to control Goliaths and their larger brothers, the Borgward 4B. For example, the Panzerlehrern normally had such a unit attached to it. A bunch of targets, including a King Tiger with the old turret, were then sort of attached that way and acted as an additional heavy tank company. But Kedmeth was a King Tiger. King Tiger obliterating some poor bastard there with his high velocity gun. Truck was going for the Sturm Pulse Orbs and they need to retreat. They're not in a good position, and the shock was just constantly closing in, getting more and more free damage because the Germans are not responding. Up north, skirmish going on the field has been flanked there by the conscripts, which are trying to take out the maximum by the northern victory point. He's activating that victory point very fast, and there you go. Conscript the Königstiger. King Tiger misses. Unfortunately, the centre of the shock was continued to just completely undermine VNBros' centre defence. Not looking good, and the King Tiger ends up with a damaged engine. Grenade off. Thrown too far. Sturmpanzer successfully pushed back the shock troops. King Tiger taking hits there from the Kedmeth. Repair ponies for the mechanized rating. I think we have a great choice here for VNBros to top the Sturm ponies just to fix up that Königstiger as fast as possible. Back here, troops in reinforcing. T-34 on the way there for Væringjar in the end. Cancel it, probably going to go for the H-5, at least I imagine that would be what I'd go for. So that's going to need some serious repairs back here. Healing reinforcement going on there for Væringjar once more. The KV-8 is good to go. Howard's up here instead, so he's bringing up the artillery. An interesting choice there by Væringjar. Constant push back here with Volksguns Obersoldaten. Königstiger almost good to go there for the German army. For the Hermanngöring, the Fallschirmpanzerdivision. T-34 striking in there, pushing back the Obersoldaten. Field guns landing so hits on the T-54. Could see them knocked out. Could see them knocked out, but he just gained the line of sight. And, oh, gets away. Very close to the King Tiger, lands next in the KV-8. Continuing ahead. Maxim versus the Beast here. Being shredded by the machine guns and the 88mm gun there. Back here, troops reinforcing. Got the house there firing away. King Tiger needs to fall back. He's a bit exposed. Not enough support, I feel. Anti-tank grenade fails to impress the King Tiger crew. Nearly scratching the paint job. 9 kills in the King Tiger. Up North Point, they're being secured by the Sturmpioniere, halfway to Victory 5. They're definitely doing a pretty good job there for VNBros. Right now, Væringjar could consider maybe trying to flank through the south and through there, being gained strength through the north. That was a very disappointing barrage, I think, there for Væringjar. Did absolutely no damage with the howitzer. King Tiger on watch, winning repairs. In the south, he orbits on as a shock troopers. The shock troopers easily win due to being closer up there. And almost wiped the orbital done. Pretty damn lucky then. There you go. Maxim versus King Tiger. Focus following up as well. Ooh. He's net there. But nothing wildly spectacular either for VNBros. Following up with the Flamethrower. He really likes his Flamethrower. I mean, that's his 3rd Flamethrower this match. You usually do not see that many Flamethrower. And of course, we're still got the KV-8, so that means there's going to be both sides with the Flamethrower vehicle out at the same time. That's just madness. Flamhead's almost done. 3rd Flamhead, so I'm a bit stunned by that. There we go, T-54 moving recklessly flanked by the King Tiger easily. Good movement there by VNBros. Oh, he's going to ram it, Main gun is already out, and there we go, knocked himself out. King Tiger, they're very close there to veterans who wanted to fire raining down, and he's calling a bombing strike. He's trying to do it. I think in this case the timing's a bit off, but the enemy does a pretty massive chance of predicting VNBros movements. In this case, does not work, and the King Tiger easily dodges the bombing strike, wasting 200 munitions for him. But there you go, KV-8 running through, trying to take advantage of the absence of the King Tiger in the center, but sadly, field guns are still nearby, and the King Tiger is quickly returning to the field as well. Got the Flamheads on the job. Obviously, that's not going to do anything against the KV-8. KV-8 flanking the field gun seat. King Tiger versus the Kholodny, taking some damage there. KV-8, 10 kills. I mean, if that KV-8 makes out that one, that's going to be impressive as hell for Væringjar. Because that was absolutely reckless. There you go. Didn't make it. Flamheads moving to the north here, burning it. He needs to probably try and focus on the Kholodny. There you go. King Tiger moving forward through the fire, through the danger. Shoot, Ludwig! Shoot, ein Rakettenwerfer! Artillery barrage off again. Victory points down to 70 versus 254. Væringjar continues to bleed out. VNBros stays moving ahead with the Flamheads and follows squad moving across the lonely road. Straight into mine. Killing 2 soldiers and damaging the Flamheads in the process. That is a really good mine there for Væringjar. Really good mine. Orbiton trying to get the point down to 5 from the howitzer. 2 kills now. It's looking a bit better here for Væringjar and the 417th Rifle Division. Still no repair pioneers though. And interesting enough, so far Væringjar has putting stock into tank controls besides just using the Kholodny after he stole from his opponent. But there you go, T-54 watching up with the field guns and does go down, in this case only abandoned. The crew might have expired, but the tank still functions somehow. King Tiger moving ahead, okay, we're setting up there. Good penetration here on the King Tiger. Damage engine as well. VNBros going to fall that one back for further repairs. One unit's been carded for to repair the T-34. He's not going for anything else, and there you go. That Maxim is just getting hammered with everything VNBros that has. He wants that Maxim dead. He wants it very dead. More artillery fire here. Need to grab out in the northern victory point. I feel here VNBros might be starting to suffer a bit from fatigue, which in some players base result of them getting much more tunnel vision. That's actually the usual situation that happens when a player gets fatigued. They begin losing, shall we say, the larger overview of the battle and tend to just get more likely to tunnel vision. So this is a bit dangerous here for VNBros. Needs to, I think, wake up a bit here. Another T-34 out there for Væringjar. VNBros is not really bringing up anything else so far. Would benefit, I think, from a tank or tank destroyer. That's just me. I like how Væringjar, though, he's not particularly worried about the King Tiger. He's got like KNF and some T-34s. He doesn't need anything else. But comrades, how are we going to stop it without tank destroyers? Do not worry. We have faith in the socialism. But how's that going to penetrate all the armor? Just believe in it. Just believe. Orbital out there for VNBros. Ken Valencia, nice hits. Up north, they're fighting for the victory points. In this regard, this is, I think, some pretty good prioritization there by Væringjar, focusing on the victory points. Of course, if we can deny his opponent fuel, that would also be great. But considering he's very low on victory points, and he's actually managed to at least cut down a lot of the lead there from VNBros, just continuing to focus. There's not a bad lead, especially because VNBros so far, though, is not showing themselves as being particularly inclined towards getting them back by, making any big efforts. King Tiger's actually approaching victory 2 very slowly. Pretty good there. Pretty good. Artillery firing. Mountain being blasted. King Tiger very close there to eventually 2. I mean, if you get there, that'd be great. More accuracy plus better turret rotation is usually a pretty good set of bonuses there for the King Tiger. Allows to more easily just deal with infantry and armor, which is usually its weight worth in gold. With all the orbitals down that way, VNBros might want to consider booby trapping some of the points. Oh! Væringjar's attacking the base here. He's going for a base raid. Wow, this match just keeps getting more and more interesting. Just more and more off-the-cuff stuff, as Væringjar is clearly not just playing by a script, as already mentioned. I mean, he can do a lot of damage with the T-34s, I think. I mean, he could destroy a bit here, there, maybe take out the command headquarters, but he still needs to take out the battle group heads and mechanized and the Schwerpanzer headquarters, and they're a bit further away, much closer to the front line. Need to pull back the T-34s, which would be a shame to lose right now here to the double field guns. It looks like he gets away with it, pretty close, but he did get the flanking placement there. Good work in the center. We got the Flamheads burning through the rations and gets got down again. Sadly, VNBros, for everything else, is not very good with his Flamheads. I mean, obviously, it might just be he's trying to get better with them, obviously, in which case these sorts of things are bound to happen, but that's still his 3rd Flamhead that's gone up in flames. There you go, field gun on the work. Pushing back the T-34s. 67 versus 220. No booby traps. And King Tiger, there we go. Got something white with the artillery. I'm not entirely sure what got exploded, but looks like it was his remaining focus grenadiers that just got absolutely turned into a fine paste. The King Tiger advance continues, though still woefully under support, and it looks like the VNBros realize he's actually making some rather big demands of the King Tiger to be able to pull a bit further back so he can pull up the infantry. Very close to the Trevetsny too, though, still. Howard continues to blast away there. 13 kills now, definitely doing a lot more damage. They've been paying it before better here for Væringjar and the 417th. Constant head, all of a sudden suppressed. We got a bomb grenade off the Kabatalavno, takes out Dmitri. There we go. Damage into the King Tiger. Good work by Væringjar. T-34 also awaiting repairs. 50 points left here for Væringjar. He needs to turn this around swiftly. And there you go. We got booby traps. Good God. Someone actually using booby traps. Excellent. You so rarely see them, but they are pretty good. So, Otto, what did you use as a booby trap? Toilet paper. Ah, you bastard. Yeah, it was your toilet paper I'm using. Ach, nein! Another bombing strike again. Oh, right here in the cluster of support weapons. And, oh, Sturm Pioneers wiped. That's a massive loss here for VNBros, actually. That was the Veteran 5 Sturm Pioneer squad. That's gonna hurt. I mean, they're pretty good combatants. But it also means, of course, he's got less stuff to repair his King Tiger with. I mean, he's got the Mechanized Regiment, got repair pioneers up and going, but still, it's quite the loss. He's replaced them quickly. He's going for a Panzer as well. Very good. Machine gun fire in the centre. Incendiary Pigeon, I think, should be let up there. A bit sloppy not to. We got more to the fire. We got the East Drivers for Væringjar. Things are heating up. Things are getting more serious now. Max and they're getting completed by the King Tiger. So very close to 52. Raketten coming up. Maxim wiped out another gun crew. Things have been exsanguinated here. Taken out with the shock tubers. Smoke screen down. Blenkerber storming the shock tubers. Taking down from the King Tiger there. That's the Raketten effort. Veteran 2 good to go here. Veteran 2 24 kills for Deutschland. Machine gun there really would benefit from incendiary piercing rounds. Oh dear, T-4 moving ahead there. King Tiger directly under fire. And he's ramming it, he's ramming it! Getting more time for the issue fire, and the other T-4 will do damage to the King Tiger. Can he do enough though? Can he do enough? T-4 moving, H4 moving in. King Tiger needs to fall back. We're down to 28 versus 19. Panzer 4 moving up and moving straight from like Raketten and the HD5 here. Clearly being versus Anki, I think a bit desperate here versus Væringjar, who's starting to prove to himself to be utterly relentless. Unstoppable. Panzer 4 down there. Artillery fire raining down here, hitting the field. T-4 went down, but the King Tiger is not going to be back in the fight for any time soon. You need to get the Sturm Pioneers on that alongside the Repair Pioneers. Like, the faster you get that King Tiger back to the fight, the better. We got Veteran fleet on the howitzer now. It's really bad news for VNBros. Until, of course, having already lost 20 units to it. That's not good news either. Repair pioneers both had debts that need to be replaced, and that does take some time there. So until then, he needs to reinforce the Sturm Pioneers and then, you know, get to work. But he's actually pushing out with them. He's expecting the repair pioneers to do the work, but they're not there. They're dead. They're dead. VNBros. And unless you're a necromancer, it's going to take some time to replace them. Another T-34 there for Væringjar. VNBros might go for another Panzer 4. And there you go, repair pioneers slowly arriving to begin fixing up the King Tiger. It's going to take some time though. We really should have the Sturm Pioneers working out. Of course, going to stand him out one trying to push southwards. Blenkerber again. Really good use of Blenkerbers with VNBros. They do tend to go overlooked, but they are pretty good. They're basically a white phosphorus grenade for all intents and purposes. Which again is pretty handy. T-4 moving up. We got the double field guns already here again to once more give Væringjar's tanks a really bad day. Salvaging here, probably should focus on repairing the T-34 or the King Tiger. About to lose the machine gun here, Veteran 5, and down it goes! Another big loss here for VNBros this late into the game. Væringjar's actually now got the larger force. This has not been good here for VNBros. This has not been good. Smoke screen off here from the shock tubes before falling back. And sadly not carrying those gentlemen anyways. Watch the fire here. 22 kills, very good. .28 versus 95. And there you go, Panzer 4 out. Orbital unless the machine gun there, and there you go. Wipes a good work there. Veteran 3, but he's losing more crews in the meanwhile. Territorial medics are being obliterated. And there you go. King Tiger's almost. Oh, he's moving the jump pan. He's in and loses another squad. Oh god, VNBros. I think again there's a bit of fatigue then playing into it. His decision making, I think, is looking elements. So of course, this is still pretty bad luck, but that was a godlike hit there from the Howitzer, just evaporating. Oh, and he lost the Panzerfaust as well. I think this VNBros is suffering under stress or something there, like mistakes being to crop into his play. And Væringjar, on the other hand, I think is playing better stamina and endurance in this fight. So while VNBros, of course, to an extent still makes some good plays, the problem is he's, I think, starting to tire out and he's beginning to make more mistakes. While there's a lot of other good plays that are just being nullified by mistakes, whereas Væringjar, being a bit more tougher, he's not really making as many mistakes. He's thus just wearing down VNBros during a longer fight. Got the H25 there, King Tiger, half H53, blitzkrieg around there. The Kholodny Ferma Russian force was on pinned down. Go good, and the T-54 was on need to retreat. Field guns destroyed here, King Tiger moving ahead again, so close to anything to get there, that of course would be great. I mean, obviously the ability to won't do much, but they need to close to Veteran 4 and Veteran 5, which is a pretty good ability upgrades there for the King Tiger. Nice hit on the T-54. The Kholodny should probably dealt with, since that's a much bigger threat to the King Tiger here. Another T-54 down there, another tank obliterated by the King Tiger. He's actually destroyed 5 vehicles, which is pretty good. VNBros though needs to replace some more of these infantry losses. And for that matter, every other loss he's suffered. So close to it in that King Tiger. You rarely see someone actually get that far with the King Tiger. Clearly, VNBros, even he's beginning to make more and more mistakes, definitely sort of to an extent knows how to handle the King Tiger, which is great to see. There we go. Ah! Damn it, still a bit to go more. 39 kills the King Tiger. 40 kills. He's moving into Merchant using the counters. Good work there by Væringjar. Very good work. Still need the King Tiger fixed up there. The VNBros. T-54 sweeping in. 39 kills in that hour. That one is just beginning to do ungodly work against VNBros. I mean, it's almost done more killing than the King Tiger. Putting back the King Tiger for repairs, putting a lot of manpower, definitely needs to replace some of these losses. Mach schnell. And of course, need to get back those rating points down to 20, 159 versus Væringjar's 20. He's so close, yet somehow victory eludes him apart. I think the issue is also just forgetting about the south. Again, the tunnel issue and the fatigue there, I think, is what's affecting VNBros. So while he's fighting valiantly for the fatherland, for Endsieg, he's just sort of finding himself falling short a lot of times. Panther on the way again here with VNBros. At least he's not calling in more flamheads just because he can. King Tiger being forced back into the fight here. Panther almost done. He's heavily focusing on the centre victory point. There you go. Shock Trooper, softening the wrath of the King Tiger. Veteran 3 gained, meaning he now move fast towards Veteran 4 and Veteran 5. He could feel better to get away with popping Spearhead just to get some suppression going on other bits than the King Tiger. Line to go on there for VNBros. Probably could have gone for that sooner, but I guess better late than never. 109 though versus Væringjar's 28. Still, and there we go. Bad group headquarters down here as Væringjar strikes for the motherland. Flanking up behind you, very good work. King Tiger should about dealing with it. Shoots, excellent hit. Excellent hit. Pushing up for the centre. Another hit there, half 8 to Vex into 4. Panther's pursuing as well. They might be pushing it too far here, they might be pushing it too far. Damaged engine like Kedden right in front of it, nothing to take out the Kedden effort. At least pop the spearhead. Well, there you go, successful push back like Kedden effort. King Tiger might just pull through there. It's actually super close to 24. 73 points left though. He really needs to push for the victory points, but he's lacking in the resource to do it. He's still not getting more infantry, which he badly needs. VNBros needs, I think, at this stage, everything versus Væringjar. They should find a way there for Væringjar. I mean, Scar's opponent down to 28, so we can theoretically still pull off something faster winning this, but the way things are bleeding out is this rapidly, and again, the focus on the central victory point rather than just trying to, you know, focus on all the victory points. We're trying to just bleed out to Væringjar faster. I do think highlights some issues. 49 points left there. King Tiger in repairs. Sturmpioniere. 48 kills on the howitzer. 48. That howitzer has definitely paid itself off. And we got a noble blitz off of VNBros. I mean, he could use this quickly, just shuttle troops up to the victory points. The other ones, that'd be a pretty good, I think, idea there by VNBros. We'll see if he actually does that, though. Group on the center victory point. Good work, good work. 25 points. He's actually got less than Væringjar now. Panther needs to get away there before the 85 takes it out. Lenkel being attempted here. Oh, pinned down by propaganda artillery there. Fear propaganda artillery to be specific. King Tiger's very close to go. We got 18 points left here. 18. Oh, he moves away from it accidentally. Oh no. Scheisse. Panther down. Going for the 85 there. Shoots and misses. 8 points left. 8 points left. 6 points left. Pulse moving ahead. T54 going forward. King Tiger turns back. There are more hits there. More hits. More casualties. More death. T54 round for King Tiger. Stands it up. Eventually full King Tiger. But game over. GG. He did not match. So I'd say an interesting fight on a lot of levels. I mean, VNBros and both Væringjar clear they weren't just playing by the match. There's definitely off the meta in a lot of ways, but it's certainly interesting. Also, also exciting to see what players can do. And Væringjar, I think, they actually played pretty well with it. Good maneuvering, good aggression, good use of his ability. I mean, in this case, note he's actually not reinforced regularly anyways. He's just been merging with the concepts all the time, just relying mostly on the damage and grenades. So, them really good work there by Væringjar. I would say we're displaying a good understanding of the Soviets and how to play them. Good use of, you know, non-meta doctrine. He actually used every ability of the doctrine. Amazing stuff there. VNBros, of course, good stuff there. Early game, good, strong. But ran into position. I think if you're going for that many flam hits, at least you'd be more careful with them. And I think some medium armor sooner would also done him better. And also, I think he suffered just from tongue vision later into the game, which really undercut him. And I think put more pressure on the other ones. I think he would have done better as well. But there you go in the end. I think a pretty exciting match. There was some novel play. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. If you like what I do, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. Links in the video description. Also, big thanks to Stephen in that regard for donating to Propagandacast, allowing me to keep doing this day after day. So thank you very much. You're all wonderful people, all a wonderful audience. I hope to see you all tomorrow again for another exciting episode. Cheers, everybody.